Okay, so this is the remix I've been working on. All the files from the original project that I'm not using have gone into this archive folder, which is muted. Now, I started off with this, this is a ghost kick. So basically this is just a kick that runs throughout the entire track and it's muted, but what I use is, this is to have the compressors sent to, so I can sidechain things even if there's no kick playing. So it goes to things like this. This is 10 minutes of white noise, which I put a filter on, so it adds a nice effect. So we've got the vocals. One has been tuned up and the other has been tuned down, so we get this nice layered effect. It's also been time stretched so that it can be played at 120 BPM and it stays in tempo the whole way. I've then recorded a bass line by converting it to MIDI and then sending it back out to this so that everything's quantized. So the bass line sounds like this. And that's just got a bit of a reverb send on it and a filter. Then we have this sound here, which is a reverse reverb from the vocal. So coming into the vocal, we've got this cool effect. And then we've got this chord stab. This was originally layered. I decided to save the processing of my computer a little bit of work by turning the sound from Europa into a polyphonic sound, so I can just layer the octaves inside the MIDI rather than having two channels running. That's just a little chord stab, does something simple like this. And that's got some automated filter on it, so I can just draw in the work with the filter. There's this grand piano, which is muted at the moment because the section that I had it in now has something else there, but I'm keeping it for now because it's probably going to go somewhere else. Then we've got, this is what I created to, this is like a little synth sound. So I've made this sound inside Wavetable. It's a sawtooth matched with some, the second oscillator is like it's not white noise, but it is some form of noise, which is much lower, and it's got an envelope on the filter, and because it's wavetable, the position of the wave is controlled by a LFO, so it's got that cool little vibrato sound. On the white noise, or the just any noise. And then we've got this sound, which I used to replace the piano. Again, just a sawtooth with a filter attached to an envelope. That is on the wavetable again. Then we've got a couple of crashes here, just for the breakdown. These are just two stereo crash samples that I've layered over the top. And this is just white noise with a load of automation on it. Here's a view of the automation. This helps me bring things up and for like a build up, like a riser, and it's also got the falls, sidechain compressed. I use this on most tracks. It always helps to add a little bit of atmosphere, and nothing does it quite like white noise. So here's the track so far.
You knew you were the one for me. From the day I found you, girl, knew I had to set you free. From the day I saw your face, I love you. A rainy day for all mistakes, then I met you. You are mine, 'cause you are mine. You are mine, lullaby. You are mine, 'cause you are mine. You are mine. From the day I met you, knew you were the one for me. From the day I found you, girl, knew I had to set you free. From the day I saw your face, cloud above you. A rainy day full of mistakes, and then I met you. 'Cause you are mine, you are mine, you are mine, you're mine.
So a couple of things I forgot to mention. Drums started off with a 909 drum kit, but then I've swapped out the kick. The snare is now a clap laid with a snare, and I also added these cool shakers, which are just looped samples that have been track time stretched. We've got this nice little shaker, and then this one, which is just it's also a shaker, but it sounds more like a digitally produced shaker, so it's like just white noise that's been filtered. And then we've also got this sound here, which I think sounds a little bit like Darude Sandstorm. It's just a preset that I've done some work on from Analog Lab by Arturia. So what it's got is it's got that sequence on, so it naturally does that little sort of bouncing thing. But I've added an arpeggiator so that it's not just playing the same note repetitively. And then I've put a delay on it as well, so that it sort of blends from one section to another a little bit easier. In the next video, I'm hoping to be able to show you what I do with this section here, which is going to have probably another arpeggiator, but it's going to be in a chord, and it's going to be some sort of like nice build-up section before we drop back into this chorus, which I've already sort of decided where it's going to go based on the vocal.